For those joining on YouTube, hello. I'm just going to do a voice check for a bit. If you're joining us right now, just make sure you find yourself comfortable, have the volume set to an appropriate level. And thank you for joining us. Please find yourself with a book to write notes. Today, we're going through classes that are a lot more wordier, a lot more terminology heavy, and having a book on hand for you to refer to put down notes and to refer during the exercise will help you immensely. All right. But without further ado, I am now going to bring up the slides for part for Form 4 students. Sharing screen now. 3, 2, 1. Boom, 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 boom. All right. So we're going to go through Grammar Unloaded part 4, and we're going to go through verbs. Now, I just went through a very thorough class with Form 3 students. So Form 4, I hope you're ready for today. Today, we're going to focus on verbs. Now, what are verbs? Teacher, why are we going through verbs again? We know this. It's important to refresh and have a very good understanding of what verbs are, because when you get to your level, and especially in Form 5 later, you'll need to have a very strong understanding of this. That way, when you come to questions, you know what to answer. Now, what are verbs? So we have 3 answers. You can guess which one they are. One is A, verbs are joining words. B, words that take place of a noun. Are we? And C, action words. Which one is it? A, B, or C? Hi, Nadina Wise. Thank you for joining us in class. So is it A, B, or C? Verbs are joining words. Verbs are words that take place of a noun. Or C, verbs are action words. And Rosna Rahim answers B. Hi, Rosna. Hello. Sorry, I have to change the settings to live chat. Okay, so Rosna says B, and Ajmila Zarif puts C. And the answer here is C. Verbs are action words. So that's simple. It's a basic one. So I'm glad we got it. If you got it wrong, it's okay. It's okay. B isn't that. When you take a place of a noun, it could probably be a pronoun. Or a different word depending on sentence structure. But for now, verbs are action words. All right, that's one. Now, verbs are words. Verb is a word. Verb is a word that expresses a physical action. So we have swim, run, or walk. A mental action, think, deliberate, consider. A state of being, appear, exist. These verbs are best described as action words. For example, love. Love can be a verb. I love you is a verb. It's a thing that you do. So how do we use verbs? Verbs have multiple forms called tenses. Tenses tell us more about when an action occurs. There are 3: present, past, and future. You might want to start taking notes now. So verbs, we can separate into 3 parts. That's present, past, and future. And why is it important to remember this? When it comes to form or to sentence structure, in changing a sentence structure, or even answering fill in the blanks, a very thorough understanding of verbs, its tenses, in which form it takes, in its plurality or singularity also comes into play. So for now, verbs are the 3 jenis: present, past, and future. When do we use present tense? So there's 3 answers here. I'll read through them. 1A, we use present tense for sentences with actions that happened in the past. B, we use present tense for sentences with actions that happen repeatedly. For example, the moon setting, the sun rising. C, we use present tense for sentences with actions that are going to happen. So which one do you think is it? Is it A, B, or C? Again, A, happened in the past. Is that really a present tense? B, happens repeatedly. And C, things that are going to happen. There were 3 options of tenses. It was past, present, future. Which one do you think fits present? Hi, Rian. Thank you for joining class. Rusna answers A, happened in the past. Again, the question is, when do we use present tense? Ajmila says B. Have any other answer? Do we have any other answer? No, I think that's it. All right. So we have A, B, and that's it. Oh, Nadine answers A. Nadine, why says A? Let's see. Is it? Oh, sorry. Okay. And the answer is B. So present means happening now or happening repeatedly, things that you know will happen. All right. So if I say happening now, it's a continuing action, then it's a present continuous tense. The base idea of what a present tense means is that a sentence with actions that happen repeatedly that you know will happen. Present tense is also used to discuss current facts or truths and to describe people or things because benda tu betul. When you're talking about someone, the assumption is you're being truthful. The base form of the verb can be used for most forms of the present tense. However, this only applies if the subject is in plural form. If the subject is in singular form, S or ES is added to the base form of the verb. So this is where the single and plural part comes in. For example, she carries her baby brother when he cries. But teacher, if nouns are singular, no S. If nouns are plural, there's an S added to it. Verbs are the other way around? Yes, the verbs are the other way around. Singular verbs have S or ES. Plural verbs do not. So you need to write this down too. If you already know this, you feel like this is not important to you, it's fine. But if you're starting to feel confused and overwhelmed, it's about time you have these notes. It's important for you to have these notes so you can always refer to them later, especially during exercises. Now, when do we use past tense? If present tense talks about things that happen habitually and repeatedly, when do we use past tense? Is it when it happens in the past or actions that are going to happen? I don't think B fits anymore. So is it A or C? Is it A or C? What do you think the answer is? Right. Which one do you think the answer is? A or C? Ajmir Zarif says A. Do you have any other answer? No? All right. So when do we use past tense? Answer is A, because it does happen in the past. We use past tense for sentences that's already happened. To write a sentence in the past tense, we need to take the base form and now add ed or d. So for example, if the word is walk, it's walked. There we go. So now finally, when do we use future tense? I'm not going to answer, wait for answer for this one. I've already answered the previous two. Present is when it happens habitually. Past tense when in the past. So future tense makes sense to happen in are going to happen. So the answer is yes, as need. The answer is C. Good job. We use future tense for sentences with actions that are going to happen. To write a sentence in the future tense, to write a sentence in the future tense, we need to add the word will in front of the base form of the verb. Don't worry, Rosna, it's okay. We're learning about it, and the idea is for us to know what we don't know. So clearly, some of us, we don't know what's going on. We don't know what it means for future tense, past tense, or present tense. But now we know. And if we made a mistake, it's better because now you will remember better what these words actually mean. So future tense, an example of that would be, he will bring his dog for a walk later. He brings his dog is present. To make it into future tense, it's he will. Dia akan. He will bring his dog for a walk later. Dia akan bawa anjing ini untuk berjalan. Alright. Now, fill in the blanks with the correct form of the verbs. Fill in the blanks with the correct form of the verbs. So now we have this table. This is a standard table for remembering present, past, and future. You might want to write this out. You can always fill it with different words also, or words that you come across that you don't often use, and you can add them to this table. Now, for the first one, giving you an example, consider is present tense. Past tense is considered, and the future tense will be will consider. Now, what's the present tense and future tense of the word cut? What is the present tense and future tense of the word cut? Can anyone guess? While everyone's thinking about the answer, I will announce that at 5:15 5:15 p.m. we will have a quiz for everyone to attempt. The person who answers fastest and gets all of them correct will be the winner for that competition. You will get a prize that can only be claimed on the portal eKelas.com.my. That's a reminder there. Now, back to the question, present and future tense. What are the words there? Don't have an answer for that one just yet, but that's okay. I think present tense, I cut the chicken into pieces. So present tense, it could be the same word, cut also. So I'll put down cut. We'll see what's wrong. We'll check the answers to see if they're right or wrong later. It's okay. So we'll put down here cut. Future tense, I will cut. I will cut the cake later. Let's put now here will appreciate. So future tense is will appreciate. That's going to be the same thing here for present tense without will. So appreciate. Teacher, but how do you know? Just remove the word here will. Let's just trust the process. Let's remove the word will here and bring it to here. So not appreciate by itself. Let's do that. Will cut. Betul. We'll see the answer there. Okay, what is in the middle here? What's the past tense of appreciate? Come on, Rosna, we got this. So we remember that past tense, we need to add a D or ED. At the end of appreciate, it's already an E, so we'll just have to add a D. So perhaps the answer for this one is appreciated. That could be the answer. All right. So now we go to this one now. Subtracted. To past tense, I was going to write it here. Hold on. Past tense, you need to add D or ED. So that's the rule for that one. For future tense, you need to add plus will. Present tense, base form. So now we know this. Let's apply all our information to this table. So we have subtracted. That means we had to have added a D or ED to the word. Subtract is a word by itself. So we can put here subtract. Yes, betul, Rian. And then for future tense, it's base form before that by will. So you add will before subtract. So here we have will subtract. Example of the sentences are subtract 3 from 5 and you will get -2. Present tense. Past tense. I subtracted the cost of this from your final bill. Future tense. I will subtract scores if you cheat in your exam. There you go. So here are the 3 ways you can use the words in the correct tenses. So then you already answer for multiply. So multiply is the base form. So adding D to multiply doesn't work because it's a Y, change it to I. So multiplied. So change the Y to I, add an ED. This is specifically for words that end with the letter Y. And then for future tense, just take multiply and just add a will to it. So it's will multiply. So animals multiply daily, present tense. My rabbits have multiplied, past tense. Future, ow, I bit my tongue. I will bit my tongue. I have bitten my tongue. Example that. Ow, okay. Future tense, will multiply. My animals will multiply. Ow, that hurt. Okay. So while I will now, I think I'll skip to the quiz now because I'm going to help kill my tongue because I bit it. I'm sorry. All right, Form 4 students, hold on. I know it's a bit late in the day. You want to go rest, but I ask that you just hold on a bit longer. We'll get through this class together, okay? You got this. So without further ado, for those in the YouTube chat, check out for the Cikgu eKelas prompt. You will be given a link to the quiz. It's 5:15 now, so it's quiz time anyway. I'm going to stop sharing and you will be given a quiz to do. The quiz is going to be posted up on the comment section. So go there. The person to answer fastest with all the questions correctly answered will win a prize. So go to the quiz link and fill up the form. You'll be given a form. I'll take you to a Google form. You'll be asked to answer some questions. The first person to get all the answers correct in the least amount of time will be the winner. So good luck. While that happens, I'm gonna grab a bit to drink. and then give some announcements. Just a moment. Oh. Okay, announcement time. One, please subscribe and like and share our Maxis eKelas YouTube channel. Two, go to Maxis eKelas portal at www.ekelas.com.my to register your account. It's free, by the way. We have a lot of videos, slides, notes, and exciting activities by Abang portal. For the parents who are watching, please help your child as they register for this to help them with the email, with the password and username, because their progress on the portal, whatever competition they apply for, and if they win, they receive their prizes via the portal. If they were to lose their portal, they will not be able to claim their prize. So please do help them out with this. If you're doing it by yourself, please make sure to remember your username and password and find yourself on that portal. Our portal will also be posting up pre-reading materials related to the live tutorial, today's class, a few days before. So you'll be getting the slides I discussed with you, and you'll be able to read first and have questions ready to ask in the class. Now, tomorrow, there will be a live tutorial. That's what we call the classes, live tutorial for maths and science. And the schedule will also be on the portal, ekelas.com.my. Also on the portal, we have a digital mission on photography. It's a small competition, and if you do it, you will get e-vouchers. And that's it. Again, quiz will only have one winner, and it's only for the students of the specific level. Today, this class, I'm teaching Form 4 students, so it only be for Form 4. If you're not Form 4 students, please don't attend the quiz, but you're more than welcome to participate in the class. I would love to see more responses. It's always a great time when we have good questions and things to discover together. All right. If you're done with the quiz, please put in the comment section below hashtag #cepat dia dapat, and then I will move on with the rest of the class. Do we have a winner? Do we have? Can I move on with the class? Hello. Good job, Rian. Anyone else? Anyone else has done the quiz? Thank you, Nadina Wise. Good job. All right. I think I'm going to start class now. It's already 5:19, coming into 5:20. At 5:20, I'll start the class again. I'll just start sharing the slides now. Where is it? Share. Here we go. We got consider, we'll consider. We already did a few of it. So I will now start sharing the answers in 3, 2, 1, boom. Boom. There we go. So we did our little subtract, multiply. Okay, we did multiply. We discussed how multiply ends with y, and if the sentence and the word ends with y, you replace the y with an I and add ed. For eat, the form of the word changes. That happens sometimes. So if the base form is eat, the past tense is ate, and the future tense is will eat. Then you have amuse. Amuse is past tense is amused, and the future tense is will amuse. And that's it. That's all the forms for all these verbs. If you don't take notes, you can always screenshot this or pause and take time to take notes. It's great notes for you to have. It's a great way to remember. Just add the rules. So all those previous slides can be made into a shorter note for you to refer to by just putting down here. Present tense is base form, past tense plus d, ed, or replace y and y to IED. So that's the format there. And then future tense plus will. And there you go. This is going to be your notes for the whole class. This is what you will refer to better understand the different forms of the tenses for the verbs. I hope that helps. I hope it does. All right, moving on to the next part of the class. So now I'll ask you to identify the verbs in the passage below and underline them. So here's a whole passage. I'll give you some time to read through, and hopefully you'll be able to tell me what are the verbs you can find in the passage. So in the comment section below, share with me what verbs you found from the passage. I'll begin reading it. Daniel sighed. He spent all night studying, but he could not complete his revision in time. Daniel, let me help you. Just a moment. Okay. Daniel, let me help you. Daniel's sister helped him create mind maps to summarize all the important chapters he needed to study. Daniel hugged his sister. Continue with your revision, his sister said. Never leave your revision to the last minute. Daniel promised never to leave his revision to the last minute again. He thanked his sister for her help. All right, and that's it. So, what verbs could you find in this passage? Hi, Jared, Anthony. So yeah, what are the verbs that you can find from the passage? And just say whichever one you can see first. For example, is sighed a verb? Is a verb, is sigh an action? Sighed. Is it, and what tense is that in? I think it's a past tense because there's an ed in there. There's also let's see, helped, needed. What verbs can you find from this passage? Can you find any more verbs in the passage? An easy one to find is the past tense ones because all you have to do is look for ed at the end of the word. Can anyone find any of the verbs in the passage? Anyone? Can you? Bum, 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 bum. Medina, what is found? Promised. That's a good one. Bum, bum, bum. Promised, a good word to find. Promised. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Because it has an ed at the end of it. Is it ed? No, promise is spelled with an e at the end, so it's d. So there's an additional d at the end of the words. It's a past tense verb. Promised never to leave his revision to the last minute again. He thanked his sister for her help. So, any other words? No? All right, so that's okay. If you don't feel up to trying, it's fine. I'll also share with you and we can learn from that. So here are the answers. Oh, thank you, Nadina. Yes, thanked. And there we go. Here is the full list of all the verbs you can find in the sentence. Starting from sighed, spent, studying, complete, helped, create, summarize, needed, hugged, continue, said, leave, promised, and thanked. All right, so these are all the verbs you can find in the passage. Just take a moment to read through, figure out where they're placed, usually second or third word part of the sentence. There's an ing if it's continuous. What else is there? It could be there's an ed, so it's past tense. So these are all the little different ways that if you have a strong understanding of words, subject sentences, terms, and all that, you'll be able to identify verbs with a snap. That's why I was snapping. All right, that's it for today. I don't want to push it further. I think this is the last thing you need to do, which is fill in the blanks with the base form and the future tense form of the words in the passage. I won't be going through it one by one with you right now. It's 5:25. However, I will share with you the answer. And what I think you can learn from is this. You don't have to try this one, but I would recommend that you at least read through the answers. So I have a better understanding of what it looks like. Of all the verbs we found, we want the base form and the future tense. So I'm going to quickly share with you right now the answer. If you want to try this You can try this by pausing the video here, answer first, and then check the answers later to see what you got right and what you got wrong. I think getting answers wrong in classes are better because that's the best time for you to learn why you got it wrong. What was your mistake in your understanding, and then being able to fix it now instead of having to do the mistake in the exams. That's the win there. So yeah. But it's okay, I get it. Form 4 students are tired, maybe it's a long day, so I'll just help you go through it. Here are the answers. We have side, base form side, future tense will side, because again, future tense, you add will to it, and base form, you want to remove everything from it, look for the base word. Spent, the base form of it is spend. That's a new one. And the future will be will spend. It's an uncommon format though, so you want to write that down. Spent is not spend, it's spend. Then you have studying, base form study, removing the ing. The continuous form is studying, base form is study, future tense was will study. Complete, base form same, complete, future tense will complete. Help or helped, base form is help, future tense is will help, and you already have the past tense, helped. We have create, base form, create, and future tense add will to it, so will create. Summarize, base form summarize, in future tense, you already know this, I've been repeating it from like the get-go. Just add a will, it becomes will summarize. Thanked is past tense, remove the ed, get thank. That's the base form. And future tense is base form preceded by will. So will thank. Preceded just means to come before. So your father preceded you as you have preceded your son. So that's a new word. Write it down. Keep notes. All right. So yeah, a lot. Okay. I've been saying it from the get-go, but it's an online class, and at your level, you do need to remember these terms. I've been saying a lot of times already. I know at this point you're going to get annoyed, but trust me, it helps. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining us. This lesson is brought to you by Maxis. My name is Teacher Uma. I am going to stop share now. Ignore the other stuff. If you want to do this again, if you want to have these slides, go to the portal. It's already there. You can read it. You can go through it, answer it again, and have fun with that. We have a lot more classes and videos and slides available on the portal. Some of them feature me. So if you like me, that's great. If you don't like me, then maybe not my content. Maybe look for the other ones too. But generally, we have the content there. If you want to know more, feel free to ask questions here. We do take note of questions, and we'll go back, prepare content that helps answer those questions. You can also ask questions on the portal. We do have platforms for you to put it there, and future classes will have it there. You can also join me on Zoom and not have to deal with the delay by going to the portal again. Everything's on the portal. Go to the portal, sign up, and you'll be able to join me on Zoom, where you can communicate with me directly. And if that's something that you might enjoy, feel free to do so. All right, that's it for today. My name is Uma. Before I go, announcement of who the winner for the quiz was. Going on with my announcer voice. The winner for this week's Maxis eKelas quiz for Form 4 students is Tanshanka. I hope I pronounced that right. Tanshanka, good job. Congratulations. You just won this week's competition. I hope to see you in the next week. Please claim your prize on the portal. It's a reason why I keep telling you to join the portal, everyone. You will be able to claim prizes there. So yeah, look forward to see you next week. My name is Teacher Uma. I'll see you then. Until then, bye-bye. Thank you so much for joining. Bye. Bye.